Everybody, welcome to GeekyKOOL presents Geek Speak. This is where I take a few minutes just to kind of tell you what's going on. I haven't done one of these in a while and wanted to get on and do this. Just wanted to give some updates on what's going on with me, with GeekyKOOL.com, and with our different programs. Wanted to also react to what's been happening with D&D Beyond and how what WotC is doing over there. So welcome to GeekyKOOL presents Geek Speak. Glad you guys are here with us. Let me bring in a little music. We got that. I should have done that before. Anyway, so wanted to hit stuff going on with D&D Beyond real quick, and then I'll go into what's going on with me. So D&D Beyond is a website for D&D. They were an independent site, and then I believe it was last year they were bought out by Wizards of the Coast, or WotC, who owns D&D. And they were brought in to merge together to make things work. And that's a great thing in theory, but it hasn't been always the best there for them. And it's led to some missteps and some problems. I guess it's probably been about a year and a half since that's happened, maybe a little longer than that, maybe 2 years now. It's getting closer. So anyway, so with WotC, they are now using D&D Beyond to get out all of the news and all the changes for Dungeons and Dragons, and a lot of the talk there about the 6E or the 5E 2024 version, however you want to say it. So a lot of information happening out there about stuff. The latest thing that aggravates me and made me decide I need to do a video was they have had a change to their marketplace, and I just found this out today. It's been true since April 30th. They made this change, and if you go out to their site, go out to DND Beyond.com out there, you'll be able to see what's going on. Let me add this up here for you. So basically, they're all excited. They always act excited anytime they bring any changes. And you see this post is up there 3 days ago talking about all the different changes on the marketplace and what you can expect and how excited they are and blah, blah, blah. And, how do I get this bundle? How do I do this? Can I still do this? Here is the big one that's causing an upstir for D&D Beyond. And guys, Wizards of the Coast did not need any more upset fans. They did not need to go and really stab at the fans once again, just as we're starting to feel a little better about things. But here is something that is a big deal to me as a game master, is that can I still purchase subclasses, feats, and other game listings a la carte? And the answer is no, we no longer do that. So prior, what you could do is you could go in, and you can read this article out there. I'll include that down below, but you could go in there and you could buy certain items. So if they have a new book out, those books on D&D Beyond usually are $30. If you want to buy the hardback version, those are usually about $50 to $60, depending on what it is. But you could go in, and D&D Beyond made it really easy. So I've got a player who wants to do this subclass of a wizard, and it's only available on this book. And I really am not interested in this book other than to get this for my player. So I could go out there and I could spend $1.99 for a subclass, or I could buy a whole group of subclasses for like $5 instead of paying the $30 that I would on D&D Beyond for the whole book. And what that allowed me to do was be able to get those needs met for my players without having to stretch my pocketbook to the point of where I was uncomfortable. Because there are some months that $30 a month is a lot for me. I'm already paying a subscription to D&D Beyond to Game Master on that site to be able to use it for all of the things and share their books. And when D&D Beyond started, and I got myself involved into it before COVID happened. So it's probably been 5 or 6 years ago. I got back into D&D and started doing this. So before D&D Beyond, really had to go out and buy hard books or other things if you wanted the Game Master, and it made life a lot easier. But having this a la carte thing was actually a great feature because a lot of times it would allow me to be able to buy things here and there so I could get my players access to something that they wouldn't have just with my books. And a lot of them don't have the money to buy the books either, nor why would they want to if they weren't going to be the DM. So they'd say, "Hey, can I have this?" And I'd go look and I'd buy the thing. Like I said, maybe $2 for a certain item, or if I think the whole group of items is good, I could pay $5 or $6 and get a group and not have to pay over the full 30. And sometimes it actually led to me end up buying the whole book. So the other thing they would do with that is if you spent $6 on a group of items, then they take $6 off the book price if you wanted to buy the whole book. And that actually incentivized me sometimes to buy the books that I didn't have because I'm like, it's only an extra $7 now after I bought some different a la carte things. I'm like, yeah, this book is worth it for me. I'm going to do that. It also let me be able to test some things out. That's a great thing for a game master who does not have a lot of money. But that is no longer with us, boys and girls. Wizards of the Coast has been quoted as saying, or their leadership has been quoted as saying before, that D&D is under monetized. So they're not making as much money off of it as they should. Now, this, I believe, was said of the previous CEO of Wizards of the Coast, who has now stepped down, but this went into effect April 30th. I'm pretty upset about this. This has led me to go back and relook at some of the other gaming systems. And I get a little, when I feel like I'm being forced to do something, my natural reaction is to tell you, no, go away. And probably not in nice words. Go away, stop, don't do this. You don't want to pressure me to do this. Let me make those choices. And they're not wanting to do that. They're wanting people to buy the whole book. And those prices on the books have slowly creeped up also. But what I think is going to happen, I think is going to backfire. One, it's getting really bad press and reviews for Dungeons and Dragons with this new system on D&D Beyond. You can no longer buy a la carte. People are complaining about it crazily over on their forums page. I did go check out some of the forums, and I have to agree with them. This is probably going to cause me to buy less rather than buy more. Wouldn't it be better to get my $1.99 or my $6 for something? And I'm doing this here and there. And over the course of time, I'm buying quite a bit of stuff because I'm doing this a la carte purchases rather than saying, you've got to buy this whole big book. Now, if it was a new player's guide, a new dungeon master's guide, a new monster book, I'm probably buying the whole thing. But if it is just some adventure on some area that I don't really care about or whatever they're doing, and they have invested in a lot of things. They've spanned out on a lot of stuff, but that enabled me to be able to, if I have a player that says, I really want to play a space elf, well, I can go get that, and so you can do that. But now I have to go buy the whole book. And so now what I'm going to be telling my players is, no, not unless you want to buy the book and share it with me, because I'm not paying for that. I'm not paying $30, $40 for a book that I'm going to use one or two items in. Not going to do it. Sorry, Dungeons and Dragons, not going to do it. And I'm looking at some of these other game systems going, are they nickel and diming their people to death? Because if they are, then I want to stay away from that one also. But if they're not, then I may be looking to change game systems. Dungeons & Dragons 5e is really easy for me to play. I've been playing D&D since before the advanced D&D days, so back on the original, and then spent a lot of time playing advanced, and then I didn't play a whole lot through the 90s. In the early 2000s, I had a friend get me back into it a little bit here and there. But yeah, it's kind of crazy. Oh, we got Mandy's comment here. Hey, Mandy, great to see you. Mandy says, totally agree. D&D has been too expensive, and at least since the 90s, I cannot speak to early years, it's been difficult for low to no income players to enjoy. I agree, Mandy, and that is the problem with what's going on, is they're making it difficult. And most of the time, the Dungeon Master spends all the money. One of the things that D&D has said, or Wizards of the Coast has said they want to do, is they want to start getting those fees in for the players. That's the wrong way to do it. D&D's always been. Now, sometimes some places share the cost for the DM. People will go in and help buy books, and that's a wonderful thing if that can happen. And again, the difference between spending $1.99 for my player to get something that they want, which isn't a real big deal for me, and then dropping $30-$40 for it is completely ridiculous. So that's what's going on with D&D Beyond. Please make comments. I'm probably going to write a post about this later, but yeah, can you still purchase subclasses, feats, and other game listings a la carte? Nope, can't do it. Then they go in talking about how you can pre-order stuff, and oh look, if you buy the book hardback, then we'll send you the digital copy for free, which they should have been doing all along. So they're trying to do some things, but they're really kind of messing over players and over dungeon masters with this. So the other side of what I wanted to talk about, that was D&D Beyond, and we'll put them on the shelf for now, was just kind of what was going on with me, because I've not been posting as much in the last month, and I have also not been doing the videos. So couple things with the videos. So having a difficult time doing videos with Ace and I, just because of her schedule. It's been difficult because she is now the editor-in-chief of 2 newspapers, and I think she was acting on a 3rd newspaper. So she is working 60, 70, 80 hours a week. So it's been difficult for us to get together to do videos. She still wants to. I love doing a Professor and Ace with her. So it's probably going to be put on the shelf for now. We're going to look at some other things, and I have some other possible things in the works, but wanted to mention that. Mandy's got another comment. Let's go over here, Mandy. So the player finally buys all the books, they release a new edition. And you are not wrong, Mandy. We know the new editions are starting out this year with the player's guide. There'll be a DM guide, and then next year will be the monster manual for the new version and some changes. Even though they're supposed to make everything work with itself, it's still going to be a problem. So, but no, I agree with you. That is a problem. So the other thing, that's the issue of why Professor and Ace has not been happening regularly. I want to do that. I've actually got some pretty cool people that want to come on the show, but we've got to be able to have a time to work that together. So some other things, my mother-in-law passed away. She went in the hospital in March, went into hospice at home, and we were spending a lot of time with her while she was in hospice, and then she passed away and had to make a trip to Los Angeles from where the funeral was going to go. So that caused me to not have as much time to be able to get posts up as I'd like to. So you notice April's numbers are way low on posts. I apologize. We will be doing a better job. I appreciate my other writers that have chipped in and put some posts up when I've not been able to. I appreciate all of you guys. But that's what's happening there. Starting here in May, I did get some posts up last night. I plan on posting daily, getting something out, even if it's just a movie trailer or whatever. You notice that I did post last night about tomorrow being Free Comic Book Day. Check out the free comic books at your local comic book store, or if you live in an area that doesn't have a local comic book store, you can commute to an area with a comic book store. Springfield, since that's where I'm at, has at least 3 comic stores I know that are participating. So it's a really cool thing where you can get some free comics and dip your toe into the comic book area. Tomorrow is also May the 4th, and so I will have a post going up about Star Wars Day, since we've now said May the 4th is Star Wars Day, and use that, which is a cool montage to, I'm saying that wrong, I know, to Star Wars. May 25th is also known as Star Wars Day because that's when it opened in 1977. So we do have that going on. Other things with me is I've got some challenges with, teenage son, and I love my teenage son, so I'm not going to talk bad about him, but, there's some personal challenges that are going on there, along with having the issue of my wife grieving and me too, because I've been a part of the family for well over 30 years, and losing my mother-in-law and having to fly to Los Angeles just on the spur of the moment to go to the funeral. and to do all that. So that has caused some delays there, but you'll notice that the GeekyKOOL will be updated regularly going forward. There will be a week in June. First week in June, I am gone to youth camp for a week, so postings will be low. It will have to be my other writers posting at that time, but that's what's going on. I just want to let you guys know GeekyKOOL is not going away. We are established. We've been doing this for 12, 13 years now. I forget what the amount is. We can plan to continue. I've got great writers like Mandy on staff to be able to help us out and to be able to give us another cool voice other than just mine, because nobody wants to hear me just dribble on. Talking about dribbling on, it is now over 15 minutes, and I like to keep these to 15 minutes or less. So we're going to sign off, but thank you all for listening to my ranting about D&D Beyond and to just share with what's going on with me and what's going on the site. Be looking for more videos to come soon. We hope to be able to get you some really cool videos and access to some cool stuff coming up. So stay geeky. We will talk to you guys later. And the other thing I was going to say is tonight was supposed to be a Next Gen Role Players, because one of our players has to be at a graduation tonight and some other things were going on. So we won't be having Next Gen Role Players tonight. That was the other thing I wanted to mention. We are trying to get that on a regular basis, every 2-week basis. I know it's difficult because we've got kids playing and families have stuff going on, so sometimes that's difficult. But I hope you're enjoying that. Also, make sure to check out those videos in the past. And with all that said, stay geeky, and we'll talk to you guys later. Have a great night.